Yeah, this is a very good question. uh, you see, as I said before, I was born in Iraq, but I left Iraq very early, when I was 18, 19 years old, and traveled to many different countries and get education in many different countries, based in many different countries. So all this culture gives me a lot, but took from me a lot as well. So the inspiration could come from my memory, of course, but most of it coming from the daily life that I live and react to it. For example, I'm living here in Leicester since year 2000, and all that culture around me, all that's happening, all this affect me. And of course, when I visit some other countries, it reminds me about the culture where I used to live. So the inspiration, in short, come from the heritage, the international culture heritage, I would say. I don't attach myself to a specific place. I see myself like a citizen of this world. Think I don't have this barrier between me and the other culture to understand and to. But mostly, of course, is the daily life mixed with art history and with the situation at the moment in the world. Okay, so I see this exhibition for me as opportunity, a big opportunity for me to show other people and to show myself as well what I have done in the last 50 years of my life, because I decided to be an artist more than 50 years ago. And I hope that this exhibition will summarize in some way my vision, my training, my obsessive with the art. So from this point of view, I look forward for it. But in the same time, it's scary because you don't know what people will and how will react, and then how your artwork will be seen in this gallery. And so from each year, not possibly each year, but from at least every 3 years, I have some artwork, and especially from the year when I come from, 2000, 2001, where I started a new way in my paintings, and I saw more international perspective in the cultural life in Leicester and in Britain in general. In the last 15 years, where I was concentrating more and more on not just on a practice side, but on theory. Basically, I work more with color. A new discipline in art history. The literature on it is written mostly in English. So no other language has such a literature in that field like in English. German possibly, of course, French, but not like in English. In the last 15 years, I start to publish a lot of my thought about this experience. I wanted to reflect that in my paintings as well. So if I speak about this is unfinished yet, an unfinished artwork, but for me, this is what I have achieved so far in understanding the meaning of color and the effect of color. And I hope, I don't know how people will react to it. This is for me, I see it as the most important artwork. Of course, when you work in for public spaces, and this is, you have to take in your mind the environment around you, the people, and the history. For example, I have here in Leicester 2 pieces at the Adult Education College, which I did in year 2002. So Adult Education College is in Leicester, and it is a center for a lot of students from many different countries come to this institutions. The building used to be a church from 19th century. So everything, all that aspects I have to take in when I do the first sketches for the design of the journal. But it was a wonderful time for me to study every aspect. And then I go to people who commissioned my artwork and ask them about, not just about the building, but about the environment in that building. And this was wonderful. After that, too, mural, I did large-scale paintings, 4 or 5 of them, exhibit them at the Nottingham Castle Museum in 2004. These were taken by people seriously. Yeah, many people, they were interested in how and why I did these large paintings. So definitely it's a difference. Later, of course, the opportunity for me to do a mural in public places become less and less and less. But my concentration became more on the working on canvases and a lot of these smaller work and a lot of work on paper. Then I mixed now technique with the printing, because this is Leicester Print Workshop where I am based at the moment. And we have a lot of technique which they are it's wonderful to mix between these two disciplines, printing and paintings, and then show it as a language of mural. In this respect, yeah, it is it's a big difference. Then you see in the 80s and the 90s, the scene in art is different as well. With the new technology, with the internet, with the development of huge development in the printings, this kind of art, mural, I mean, fresco, for example, or icon technique, or mosaics, become less and less. For me, in the last years, I was concentrating on acrylic. This is the most beautiful and accessible medium, especially when you work on canvas and on paper. At the moment, the water-based colors in general, acrylic, watercolors, or ink on paper, or ink mixed with another medium, and I use with that a lot of red wine when I painted on. If I use pigment, if I use the egg tempera technique, I mix it with red wine, and if I use watercolor as well with red wine. Why red wine? Red wine because you see, if you have a pigment, you have to mix it with a binding medium, like egg, the yellow part of the egg, or PVA. You can use red wine because red wine has a sugar in it. And then it gives a wonderful purple color. Often I use it on the thick paper because it's alcohol, as sometimes can damage the paper if it's thin. So each artist, I think, because we are more close to people than any other profession, because we have to show to people. Yeah, take for example musicians. Without people they are nothing. The same with us, of course. So we have this connection, but not physically, but through our art, of course. And this is very challenging. I take part in international exhibitions. I had an exhibition 3-4 years ago in Greece, for example. And the gallery was very small, but the paintings very big. So people, they come and then they go outside the gallery to see through the window instead. Yeah, so the reaction was wonderful. I really appreciate it. Here, each time I do exhibition, people, of course, mentioned at once the color, which is this what I wanted. I want them to understand or to see how color is important in our life, and how it is important to see the color outside your computer or your TV. So go outside, just enjoy the nature, because here all these paintings, I often do exercise outside, or I sit sometimes 3 or 4 hours just to absorb the greens or the yellows or the blue of the sky, and then I come to my studio. So I would like visitors to be aware after that. And the other thing is to think internationally, not just locally, because through my exhibition, I guess many people will recognize that it is not just about Leicester or about one part of Leicester, but it's about something maybe wider than that. Yeah, and I hope they enjoyed it.